Thank you for joining the channel again. It's your boy Into the X, and I'm back. Going to show you my workflow whenever I'm making a sampled beat. I'm going to try to talk through it as much as I can if I remember to. And this is just from a sample pack that I picked up. I'm just going to chop it up a little bit, add some drums, add a little bit of stuff here and there. So sit back, enjoy, and leave in the comments if you have any questions or anything like that. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. Thank you. All right, so I got my sample here. The first thing I like to do is actually play the sample. Okay, I got my sample here, and what I want to see is what it sounds like if I tune it up or tune it down. The sample came and told me that we're in F sharp minor. It's at 84 BPM. I think I'm going to leave the BPM right where it's at, so we will leave that right where it's at. But I want to see what it sounds like. I do like that a little bit better. So what I'm going to actually do is put that back at 0, but I want to keep the BPM the same. So in order to do that, I will hit process and I'll come over to pitch shift and I'll do it here. Now, since this is a pretty long sample, this is going to take a while. So I'll be right back. All right, we're back. So now the sample sounds like this. All right, that's the way I like it. So the first thing I'm going to do is I want to keep everything out of here and just play with the chops. So I am going to go over to chop mode, and I'm a BPM chop it. Now, if I leave it here, this is what it'll sound like chopped up into 16 chops. But that's not actually what I want. I'm going to change the bars here because I want smaller chops. So now I'm going to have this chopped over all the pads and all the banks. So it'll be more like this. Something like that. And then now I can switch over to this bank and have these chops. Something like that. All right, so kind of got something in my head. We were still at 84 BPM. I'm going to go ahead and convert this over to a new drum program using slices and go back to main. So now we are here. Make sure our BPM is at 84, right where everything was. And I kind of like to just freestyle a little bit at first. I will do like an 8-bar loop and I'll just freestyle it. So. So now that I got that down, I obviously have the other banks with the other samples on it. I could do one of two things. Sometimes I like to go ahead and make the drums right now, which is what I'm going to do. Or I'll just go ahead and track them all out. But I'll do the drums next because whenever I do the other samples, it sounds a little bit better with drums. So let's find a drum pack. have some drums down. Like I said, I'll go back now, and let's go back to the sample that I already have chopped up, and I'm going to do it on a different track. In order to do that on a different track, I'm going to go back to the sample, hit this little pencil icon right here, and hit duplicate the track. Now, as you can see, I have the same sample all chopped up, but now I'm on track 3. So what I'll do now is go back to my mutes, mute track 1 out, just got the drums. Go back to main, go to bank 2, and that's where we have these. All right, let's do it. Perfect. So remember, I still have the other 2 banks that I can mess around with. So let's rinse and repeat. Let's go. All right, one more bank. Let's do it one more time. All right, so now we got all of our samples laid down. I'm going to just leave it on track 5 for now, and let's try to add something else, add a little bit of flair or some stuff in the background. All right, so track 5, we're going to track 6, go to plugins. All right, found something I want to use, and let's go. I like that, but I'm actually going to layer that. So I'll go to track 7, and since I'm going to be using another plugin, I'll hit this little plus sign and go to the sound that I want. Now I just want to go through and rename everything. All right. Now, anything left that I like to do is I like to explode on my drums. So I go back to my drum track here, and you hit this little pencil icon there and hit explode. What that does is takes every sound that was played and puts it on its own separate track. And that makes it easier whenever I put it in my DAW to mix, and it makes it easier to just kind of jam out here. So as you can tell with track 2, that was the original drum track. It is now muted. And if you come to your mutes, you see how everything is, oops, here we go. Everything is on its own track. So track 2 will always stay muted, and everything else is on its own tracks. So what I usually like to do is I will track out all these stems, and then I'll put them into my DAW at that point. The DAW that I do use is Fruity Loops. I'll use Fruity Loops to extract the stems and the basses and everything that's in the samples, and then I'll actually arrange my beat in Fruity Loops. But let's just jam out for a minute.